what would be your recommendation for people going through tough things? Because a lot of people have people in their life, but then there's also people that don't. How can people go through it, when they do have people and when they don't? Can you kind of open up both options?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I think it was, again, like, so sorry for your loss because I can't even wrap my head around that. Like when you're a young person, those are such formative years, and especially
Mm.
a mom, a dad, like primary caregiver, and people think like, oh, you're older, but no, like, there are people, you need your mom, like, no matter how old you are, 20, 30, 40, 50, but
Yeah.
there's two aspects of what you're saying. One is like loss, grieving, loss of a very important primary attachment figure in your life. And then no one is
Mm.
ever going to be able to replace that. So seeking support is number one, recognizing that like you're not looking for anyone to fill a void that really can't be filled by anybody else. And that you are looking for a sense of community. And it's so beautiful because we don't really talk enough about the role of like church and spirituality. And I know people have a lot of mixed feelings about it. And but we do
Yeah.
know that people do connect to a higher power or to a religious community or to a community period. They're better off mentally, healthy wise. Because when we look at the trends of how the suicide rates have gone up, how depression, anxiety, drinking, all of that, it coincides with the loneliness crisis, at least in the United States and I think parts of Europe as well. And also it coincides with how we have less religious, social community engagement. So we're not actively involved. We don't have a community. So the first thing is recognizing that the quality of your health and your life depends on your relationship and it's non-negotiable. Having relationships close, tight knit, even one person that you can see eye to eye with or that you feel supported by. And I love the fact that you sought mentorship from older, wiser people. One very interesting thing that has come out in the research is having friendships across multiple decades. And that's not something I
Mm.
see a lot. I don't see a lot of 25-year-olds having friends that are in, 35 or 45 and the other way around. I don't see that. People barely are hanging out with the people in their peer circle. And that's something that
Yeah.
dwindles with age. The number of friends we have in our life, I think it kind of peaks in that university period, like 18 to 22, and then it starts to go down very drastically as we move for jobs, as we partner up, if there's children involved. And then our lives might center around either the work or the children's community or whatever it is that we're involved in. So the first most important thing is just recognition that your health depends on your relationships and that morbidity and mortality go up, that loneliness is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And so that's like three quarters of a pack. And
Wow.
if you don't believe in smoking, then you should also believe in the power of going out and busting your A about getting friends because you will live longer. And we know that people die quicker on average if they don't have good friends. So that's having the intentionality built in. That would be the first step. And then I can go into like, how do you actually make friends and how do you deepen friendships?
When I first thought of doing a podcast in 2019, I wrote down everything that I wanted to achieve with the show. And one thing I never wrote down was to spam you with ads of products that I never really used myself. However, I did write down that I wanted to grow it as big as possible and have as many interesting people on the show as I could. To help make that happen, all I ask is that you leave a review on the podcast platform that you're listening to this episode on and share it with someone that you know it will benefit. If you want to support myself even further, and more importantly, your body transformation, and are interested in having me as your coach to help you achieve the results that you just can't seem to achieve on your own, you can visit teamrockashby.com to see what program fits you best.